Welcome. Welcome to this series entitled Sick Vegetarians and the Nutrient Connection. I hope you are excited, as I am excited, to present this series. We are going to be discussing 12 different sections in this series, Sick Vegetarians and the Nutrient Connection. And I'm pretty sure everyone here and everyone in their homes are going to be somehow challenged at some point. Now, let me tell you some of the bases by which these seminars are going to be run. And this is a statement that you see on the screen. The Nutrient Connection seminars are designed to share available information with the general public. They are not to be used as a treatment for individual cases. Consult with your health professional. Why am I saying that? Simply because I don't want to be charged with liability, and I don't want to pay your trip to the Caribbean because you did something that you thought I said or you interpreted in a particular way. So basically these seminars are information seminars. You gather the information and you apply it with common sense, which is nowadays appears to be an oxymoron. Common sense, sometimes it's not very common. But basically you apply the information within your common sense and you take full responsibility of your actions, not me. What I'm here for is just to share this information with you. Now, I need to also mention that there are other two programs, other two series that are very vital for us to get a much complete picture. They are available, and one is called The Gut Connection, over 6 hours of presentation about the gut and the gut feeling and bloatedness and why people suffer from reflux and why people suffer from ulcers and many other issues. Now, we are not going to cover all those issues, though we might make reference to it. So what I actually encourage you to do is to get hold of the series. I know they will be being broadcast too. So the gut connection is one of them. The other one is the gluten connection, and that definitely challenges many, many people. I would like to ask the question, has anyone here have watched any of those two series? Oh, there's some people here. Okay. Were you challenged? Were you challenged by some of them? Oh, somebody says yes. Good. So if you really don't have anything else to do and you just want to be challenged, just watch any of them. Especially the gluten connection one, and especially if you love your bread, just watch it. You will be challenged. Okay, so we will make some reference, but we won't talk about it. In fact, this series, the Sick Vegetarians and the Nutrient Connection, is pretty much 95% new information compared to the other two series. Okay, so one series complements the other. And the first section that we are going to talk about in this time together, it's called Food and Existentialism. What is existentialism? Existentialism is that response to the question, who am I, where I'm from, and where I'm going. You know, when we ask an existential question, we ask, who are you? Where are you from? Where are your origins? And food is a response to an existential question. Let me illustrate. If your existential understanding is of an evolution of the human race towards the actual final beauty of humanity today, you have an understanding of what food is for you and what food resources are actually considered food. Do you understand? So you will say, for instance, that hunting a deer is part of your existential question answered by food. And you will eat a deer or you will eat a rabbit. Okay? Now, nowadays, there is a concept called the paleo lifestyle or the paleo diet. How many here have heard of the paleo? Okay, is that ancient man, and on the screen will be the third one down, you know, the guy that is carrying the soft drink, and then you have the man as such before the modern society, and the one with the spear on his shoulder, that will be the paleo man. Now, the paleo diet actually responds to an existential question. Every diet is intrinsically responding to an existential question. When a paleo person, or a person that is defending a paleo diet, and I'll explain what the paleo diet is all about in a minute, when a person is giving evidences of how good the paleo diet is and how healthy it will be for his body and so on, truly that is not the issue. The issue is that he believes that the original diet for man is hunter-gathering diet. And once that has been answered in his mind, then he finds health evidences that confirm his existential question. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I have some friends that they believe very firmly in the health benefits of a paleo diet. What is the paleo diet? Well, the paleo diet interprets this. It's an existential response to an existential question. It says, we believe that the original diet for man is a hunter-gatherer diet before agriculture. We believe that the men were running towards a buffalo, killing the buffalo, and as they were carrying the buffalo back to the cave, they were eating some green leaves and some berries. So what is on a paleo diet plate? Rabbit or game food, like deer or whatever. The true paleo diet will be like that. And some berries and some lettuce. You see how it responds to an existential question. And then they will find the good evidences of how these will be healthy. Okay? Now, I have a number of questions that also are existential questions that will challenge the root of the paleo diet on an existential level. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. You cannot convince anyone to change diet until the existential question has been changed. The existential answer has been changed. Because a person cannot actually become a vegetarian if in his mind thinks that the original diet of man is hunter-gatherer diet. He will be going against his very existential response. You understand what I'm saying? So, I have a number of questions, existential questions about the paleo diet. And why am I referring to the paleo diet? Because, friends, the paleo diet today is the health alternative to true vegetarianism. Paleo diet, for those that are not aware, is the alternative, health alternative to true vegetarianism. In other words, those that are seeking for health will either go to vegetarianism or they will go very close, very, very close to the paleo diet. So we need to see if existentially the paleo diet holds water. Okay? The theory holds water. Now, and I was thinking, why would you stop in the paleo man? Now, look at the picture again. The paleo man is the one with the spear. If you want to look back at the original diet of man, what makes you stop at the man with the spear? What makes you stop there? Why do you don't stop on the fourth person? On the fifth one? Why do you don't stop in the monkey? What makes you stop on the paleo? It's an existential question, and you just stopped it there. That satisfied your feelings, that satisfied your mind, and you stop there. But the reality is that if you go any further, you will actually go to the monkey, right? Following your own theology, following your own thinking, you will go to the monkey. And then I will actually have to ask you this question. Why would you stop in the monkey? What makes you stop in the monkey? Well, they come from reptiles, right? That's the theory. Well, then don't stop in the monkey, just go to the reptiles. But then I will have to ask the same question again. Why would you stop in the reptiles? Go to the aquatic creature that came from the sea. And then the question has to go even further. Why would you stop in that fish? At the end of the day, we just come from a soup of nothingness, what is your original diet? A soup of nothingness. So if you are drinking soup, you'll probably be closer to your original theory of diet than on the paleo diet. Now, another thing that comes to my mind is the following. If we are hunter-gatherers, and we've been like that in the original existence of man, that means we know that population of animals and men are growing, despite the fact that we have lots of species that have been disappearing from among us. So, if we have plenty of lambs and cows now, it's because of agriculture. Before, we didn't have so many. Now, what happens if I come from existence of being a monkey, I come to the new reality of being a paleo man, and I look at 2 cows there, and I get my spear, and I kill the 2 cows. What am I going to eat tomorrow? I just kill the cows. Remember, they were in much smaller numbers than they are today, and agriculture was not actually promoting the growth of numbers among cows. I just killed my lunch of today, but I even destroyed the lunch of tomorrow. I extinguished the race of cows, or extinguished lambs, or extinguished rabbits. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we go from smaller numbers in the theory of evolution, from smaller numbers to bigger and larger numbers. But if I have already that tendency of killing the rabbit right at the time when rabbits are only small populated creature, I will kill them, and then I won't have more rabbits to kill. Now, you are in the desert. I know here in New Zealand you don't have many of those. Let's say you are in outback Australia, and you have been riding a horse, and you have dry mango with you in a bag, and you're just in the middle of the outback with dry mango, a little bag with dry mango. Question: when are you thinking in eating the horse? When do you think, man, that horse looks appetizing? When do you start looking at the horse and want to eat the horse? When? When you run out of the mango. You run out of the mango, there's nothing else to eat, and there's no one coming to help you. What am I saying here? That killing an animal is a response to hunger in the first place. Then human being makes a visual attachment now between the animal and food. When you bring a mango here, what does it look like? It looks like a mango. How does it smell like? It smells like a mango. How many here love mangoes? And when you buy an entire box of mangoes, and the entire house smells like mango, it's yummy. And then you put it to your nose, and it smells like a mango. See, it looks like a mango, smells like a mango. Oh, it's appetizing like a mango. You cut it, still smells, and it's juicy like a mango, and then you eat it, and sure enough, it tastes like a mango. Now you bring a pig to your house. How does it look like? Looks like a pig, and it smells like a pig. At some point in the process, in your process of eating that pig, you need to change your mind, and then you look at that pig and say, bacon and eggs, that's delicious. Can you see how there's a change in the process of thinking? There's actually a change in the process of thinking. The paleo man had to think by looking at an animal, I can eat that, and that will actually give me life or maintain my life. Never in history we have eaten meat as now, especially in civilized countries or first world countries like New Zealand, Australia, America, and so on. Never in history. You look through history, which is recorded, not speculation, but recorded history, and meat was consumed in very rare occasions, festivals in towns, and so on, very celebrations, very small occasions, and they will just dip the bone of the cow in soup, and we'll make this soup with the bone of the cow. But meat was very much something not continuously present in front of you. Now, this is an existential question. Isn't that cute? Can you see it there? It's this Indian boy, little boy, that just sees this cow, and he just goes to the cow, and he grabs and starts sucking the milk from the cow. Isn't that cute? I mean, it is cute. It is like a photo for a calendar, right? Oh, look at that boy. That's cute. Now, though that's cute, if I change the photo and I put that one there, so we saw the first photo and we said, oh, that's cute. We see the second photo and said, oh, that guy is nuts. That's disgusting. And I had people that came to me and said, Oscar, I don't drink milk from the cow. I drink it from the carton. Yeah, where does that come from? Now, friends, do you know that human beings are the only mammals that continue to drink milk, and they do it from a different kind of mammal, from a cow? Now, what would you think of me? This is just for illustration. What would you think of me if my dear mother walks through the door of this conference room and I chase her to drink milk from her? You go, that guy lost his mind. Call the psychiatric people, because he is going right in. But we're chasing cows and we don't seem to have a problem with it. We are here in New Zealand, cow country. It used to be sheep country, but now it's cow country, right? Lots of dairy. And it's a big industry. And I'm not negating the industry and many honest people that are actually earning a living out of that industry. But we need to look at it from an existential point of view. And from an existential point of view, that doesn't make sense. The second photo, at least, it doesn't make sense. When the cow gives the milk to the calf, it gives the milk to the calf because that calf is going to stand up in a couple of minutes and sustain its own weight. In fact, cow's milk has a percentage and ratio of minerals and carbohydrates and protein in such a way that will make strong bonds. Isn't that what we've been told? Milk is for strong bonds. It is true. Cow's milk is for strong bonds, because that calf has to stand up and hold its own weight. But mother's milk is not drunk by the baby just for strong bonds, because the bones of the baby are not meant to be strong and rigid, but flexible. Because, things still need to be moving and setting in place, and to a certain degree, they appear to be like cartilage in certain areas, and they need to be still flexible, and the bones of a child are more flexible. And if you get your baby at 6 months old and you try your baby to walk in front of you, your mother-in-law will come behind you and it will smack you, because it says, if you allow that baby to hold its own weight, what will happen to the legs? It will just curve like that. Because it doesn't have strong bonds, it has flexible bonds. And mother's milk provides that flexibility and strength rather than rigid strength. Do you understand? So this is an existential question. A person can only leave milk if you understand there is an existential question. Oh, it doesn't make sense to my mind. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you another existential question. That's a pig. And those are some men killing the pig. One of my earliest memories in Spain as I was growing up was the killing of the pig. My uncles and my grandfather, they were all chasing this pig, this huge pig. And they would put him down like that and grab the legs, and everybody from the town will grab him. And there we were, my brother and myself, little tiny boys, just looking at it. Have you ever seen the killing of the pig? The pig screams and screams and screams. In Spain, we have a saying. The pig knows the day of San Martin. The day of San Martin is the day when you kill the pig. You've been feeding that pig every day, and he just comes to the door and he eats all the scraps from the table and whatever. But the day before you're going to kill the pig is crying and screaming and crying and screaming and crying and screaming. You still haven't killed it. It's still in the pen. But he knows, the pig knows that tomorrow you're going to kill him. And the entire night, the entire town cannot sleep because you got 3 or 4 or 6 or 7 pigs. Rawr, rawr. The entire night, they know about it. So they get the pig, the strong man in town, and there we were, my brother and myself, we were just looking. And the pig is screaming. And when they put the knife through the jugular, and all this blood is coming out into a bucket, my auntie is there with a big bucket and is collecting all the blood. It's still with the hole here, it's still bleeding and it's still crying. It's still crying. And then I remember that the procedure was the following. They had a little bit of fire going here, and they had 3 plates, like to make pancakes. And my auntie will get the bucket of blood, a ladle, and we'll make pancakes with that blood. Then we will roll it. And we were there, my brother and myself, and they will give us one to me and one to my brother. And then they will cut different parts of the pig, and they will mince it, and they will make sausages out of it. And we were there just making the sausages, I was just turning the machine. My grandmother was putting the meat through, and then they used the intestines of the cow to actually be the actual for the filling of the sausage. And we call them in Spain chorizos. So my grandmother was there with a nail, just pricking here, pricking there, and we'll have these chorizos. And then they will put these chorizos through a stick, and they will hang them up from the ceiling, all full of chorizos, all full of the legs, the leg of the pig, hanging in there, and blood sausages hanging in there. Everything was hanging in there. And the room that they chose to do so was on this holiday house that my grandmother had, was on the room where underneath that ceiling there were 2 single beds, one for my brother and one for myself. And I remember just lying down at night, just looking up and see all these sausages hanging in there. They were all hanging in there. Now I've got a photo here to illustrate. That's not obviously from my grandmother's place, but this is exactly what it is. So you see all those sausages hanging from the sticks. Yes, hanging from the sticks there. Right. Okay, the Spaniards do it. In Spain they say from the pig we eat everything. And everything means everything. It means the stomach, it means the mouth, it means the ears, it means the tail, it means the tails, it means everything. When you think of everything from the pig, think of everything. I ate it. Now, I'm going to put another photo. That's a golden retriever. Now, you put that photo in Spain, you put that photo in Australia, you put that photo in New Zealand, and what do they see there? Sausages or a puppy dog? They see a puppy dog. Now, I have to ask the question, what's the difference? And they say, well, one is food, the other one is a pet. And who says so? It's an existential question. You have actually answered that existential question, and in your mind you have declared pig as food and the golden retriever as the little cute dog for the blind. True? However, in some countries, they gather them and they make stir fries out of them. That's actually dog meat on that plate. And many people will go, oh, I will never eat that. Can you tell me what's the difference between a puppy dog and a pig? It's only in your mind. The difference is only an existential question that you have answered in your mind that have determined the pig I can eat, the dog I will not eat. You understand what I'm saying? It's an existential question. Now, Oscar, so how do you answer your existential question? Well, very simply, because I come from a creationist point of view, I interpret that the earth in its origin had plenty of mangoes. I always say to people, sometimes you hear the odd person that says, I don't like mangoes. And I say, well, you're going to be starving 1 month a year in heaven. And they go, oh, why is that? I say, because it says that there's a tree of life that each month they will be given a fruit. And I know that mangoes will be one of them 1 month. So you'll be starving at least 1 month of the year in heaven. But apart of that, I believe that it was plentiful resources. So when we saw a pig, we saw him exactly as we see now a puppy dog, as a pet. It was plentiful. Then a big catastrophe happened in which food resources went down. And when food resources went down, then all of a sudden, between me and the pig loses. I eat the pig. You understand? Now, it goes beyond that, friends. It goes beyond that. Because I'm not just a creationist, but I'm also a Christian. I believe that I had permission as a human being to eat the lamb. Why? Because that's the essence of Christianity. Between you perishing or the lamb perishing, eat the lamb. Actually represents the love of God for humanity. When God gave permission to eat meat after a great catastrophe, early in the piece, between you and the lamb, kill the lamb so you can have life. It's the gospel of Jesus. And today, we have animals all around us that have not been treated as animals anymore. They're just growing food sources for the human beings. They're on a production line. Humans will make cars the same way that they will just produce sausages on a production line. Those animals are not connected to humanity from an affection point of view. They just look to us as meat resources, food resources, and nothing else. And that is not the intended purpose and intended plan. Okay? So remember, food is an existential question. How food responds your existential questions will determine what food you eat. Did you get that? How food responds to your existential questions will determine what food you eat. Why am I a vegetarian? Very simply, because I believe in creation and an original plan in which that food was the primary option and the best option given to men in the beginning. Because I respond to that existential question that way, it makes me a vegetarian. See? There's no point to talk to a paleo person to change to a vegetarianism unless the existential question has been changed.